I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. We're a spin-off to the web series, The Two Dicks. I'm Al Ducharme in Studio City, California. And that, ladies and gentlemen, to my left, I think. No, I'm reversed. To my right is Al Romas in Tampa, Florida. Al has some news to reveal today. Now, let me give you a little background real quick. Al, he did some flying on a crowded plane, and then he went to a beach to hang out, to be COVID safe, and 600 people gathered around him on New Year's Eve, and he was feeling very awkward. And he went to have his second test, and that would be the COVID-19 test. And Al, take over.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Can you hear me? Everything good?
Can you taste?
I can, yes, I can taste. I don't know, is hearing a thing? I don't know if hearing is a COVID thing or not. I don't know. But, yeah, I was a little worried, so got up early this morning and went for the test down at Raymond James Stadium where the Tampa Bay Bucks play their games. I opened at 8 a.m.
I took in a game there with you, with Dr. Joe.
That is true, yes.
Up in his skybox. And
Dr. Joe had the box, and that was the night John Gruden went into the Buccaneers Ring of Honor.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That wasn't a bad day. We shot some two dicks, went to Davidoff, had a cigar, and then went to Monday Night Football. Pretty good day.
So you go back to the stadium, no game.
So I go back to the stadium this morning, 8 a.m. they open. I get there about 7:45. 8,000 cars.
Holy shit.
8,000 cars.
More people than were at the New Year's Eve gathering on the beach.
I don't know what was going on. I mean, it was insanity. And, but they all want to be tested. So, you follow the last car and you just sit. And I listen to, some Talking Dicks podcasts.
I cannot give you a refund. I apologize.
I'm not a Patreon member, even though I should be. And if you want to see the video of this, what we're talking about, folks, that's where you go. Patreon.com/the2dicks. $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can do. You'll see video. You'll see other things on there.
You get prizes and gifts.
Nobody will. Gifts, prizes. It's a good deal. It's a pretty good deal.
You get special content that no one else can see.
Exactly. We even did a Zoom months ago with Patreon members. You remember that?
Yeah, we had a little cocktail hour is what we had.
That's right. That was early on. On in the pandemic. But
unfortunately, half of our supporters are in AA, so.
It was a mistake. Hey, it was an A for effort, and we didn't know there were a bunch of drunks who couldn't attend. But next time we're going to do a cocaine hour.
We'll do a cocaine hour.
That'll work better.
That'll work better.
So,
yes. So, before you give us the results, what kind of test did you have? Because I've had one, and it was a mouth swab, and it was a do-it-yourself cough in your car 5 times, and then swab yourself, put it in a container, and toss it on the ground. Did
you lift your own sack? How does that work? You cough and lift your own? That's weird. I don't know how that works.
I had to do it myself this time because you and I were not gigging together. So you made me go blue.
Of course I did, you son of a bitch. This was a nurse or a nurse practitioner or whatever. Just a Q-tip kind of looking thing in the old nostril. Not too evasive. Up there, stayed about 5 or 8 seconds in that one.
Ooh.
Move over to the left one.
Sounds like my senior prom.
Hey now. Little Mary Jane Rottencrotch got a little 8 seconds from you. Nice.
When I moved it to the other hole, everything came to a screeching halt.
Woo! Alfred, hello. And I did that one, and then 4 hours, by the way. 4 hours in the car. 4 hours. Let me explain that again.
4 hours?
These were a lot of podcasts I listened to, other than the Talking Dicks, but 4 hours. And then I got out of there, and about 20 minutes later, got an email saying my results were in. And I'll tell you, I'm talking about, I was wall-to-wall people New Year's Eve. wall-to-wall people, Southwest. from
5 days ago,
BWI
right? 5 days
Tampa.
ago?
5 days ago, yes, sir.
Okay. So you have to wait, by the way, if you're listening. If you're not listening, go fuck yourself. But if you're listening, they say, if you think you've been
Doesn't even make
exposed. Of course it doesn't make sense.
Oh.
That's not why you're my partner.
Well,
You make sense. I don't.
I tried to figure that out for a second. Wait a second. What the hell does that mean?
They say if you feel like you've been exposed, don't go out the next day and get tested. You got to wait 5 days. If you make it 5 days, and that will give you a better reading on your more accurate reading. Go ahead. Drum roll.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
And drum roll, please. Here are the actual results right here. And as you can see, negative.
Negative.
Negative. Negative.
You had me going. I thought you were going to say positive because the way I said, do you want to save it for the podcast before you reveal your results? And you made that face like,
little acting.
Yeah, little acting. Wow.
Acting.
It was
Little
subtle,
acting.
but it was like effect. I was like, fuck. The one dick just doesn't sound good. That sounds boring.
I know, but let's be honest, you were praying I had it. You were.
For
you
ratings. Yeah, ratings.
Ventilator
for podcast.
Downloads.
The doctor said you're not supposed to do your podcast from the ventilator.
Oh, it would have been great. But I feel fine. So I thought probably negative. But I'll tell you, after the Davidoff one 3-4 months ago, then this one, I don't want to brag, but I think I might be whatever.
You're the immortal.
COVID. I might be.
You're the immortal, the television show that I put a little clip on.
Oh, is that the immortal?
Yeah, I hope we don't get sued. Yeah, that was
I saw the clip, and I still didn't know what the show was.
I wanted to talk about it. It was called The Immortal, and it was the actor, and it was
He looks like one of those guys The Simpsons kind of made fun of, like Doug McClure.
Yes, he was in that category.
Like a good-looking guy who couldn't really act, but
he got the television gig because of his look in front of the camera.
Yeah, he was a good-looking guy that.
Yeah, he was banging
he was like
starlets.
The B-grade version of.
Yeah, he was banging chicks all over Hollywood for about 5 years.
Yeah,
and he something George. Last name was George. Stephen.
And he was married to a hot chick who took his name. Wasn't that Linda Day George?
Yeah. So they were like working actors, but he got a starring role. He was always a guest star on Love Boat, and Mannix and all those shows.
Yeah,
and
like a lead, this like one a lead major,
he scored the lead, the Immortal. And it was about the man who had the rare blood, which we think you have now. Everybody wanted him. And this millionaire, they said, if you get this rare blood, you can live 2 and 3 times longer than the average person. But he's immortal. He'll live forever. He won't get any disease or anything. He won't age anymore.
I don't even remember that. I don't remember that show. I don't remember the name of it. Immortal. Doesn't ring a bell. Whole thing.
It was only on for 1.5 seasons. It wasn't from the 60s. It was actually...
No,
they shot it at the end of 69. It aired in 1970 and 1971 for 1.5 seasons before I got the plug. But I remember seeing it in syndication as a kid, probably in the late 70s, early 80s, and going, wow, what was that? What was that? Because I remember liking The Fugitive, even though it was in black and white. I just had...
Right.
What's going on?
Well, that's kind of...
What's going on? What am I hearing?
The kids I keep in my cage in the backyard.
Oh,
they're trying to get
you
out.
Still have the candy shop?
Whatever. Keep it down, but they're just trying to get out. Just please ignore, listener. Any listener, you're not hearing a thing.
We control your mind.
Oh my God!
The Two Dicks Comedy Podcast controls your mind.
Somebody get the GIMP. Send them out there and tell them to lock that box back up. Holy God! You know that
we got a spider in the web.
The actor we were just talking about from what was it called? The Immortal?
The Immortal. Starring Christopher George.
Yeah. That's kind of like the DiCaprio character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he didn't really make it, but you get a TV show, and you sort of like Lee Majors. He was not a movie star. He was a TV star. He's a good-looking guy.
Right. He was on Bonanza. He did The $6 Million Man. And then he did The Fall Guy, where he played a stunt guy.
I don't think he was on Bonanza. I think that's wrong. I can't let that go.
Lee Majors?
I can't let that go.
He played Luke, the son, Barbara Stanwyck's son.
Wrong.
I think that was The Big Valley.
I wish you were positive. Oh, it was the Big Valley. Lee Majors played Heath Barkley in the Big Valley.
I think that was
God
the Big Valley.
damn it! Why do you knew it? You could have said Big Valley.
I could have let it go.
2 minutes ago.
I could have let it go.
You let me just fall.
I could have let it go, but
you know what you are?
Started...
Here's what you are. Ready? Here's what you are. I'm falling. You're like Captain Kirk, and you go to save the Klingon, and I grab you, and then you kick. No, wait a minute. The Klingon steps.
This analogy's going nowhere.
It is going nowhere.
It's going nowhere.
Captain Kirk goes to help the Klingon because he's falling into the pit, which is played by Christopher Lloyd, who was Reverend Jim on the television show Taxi.
Yeah.
And the Klingon, because he's a Klingon, he tries to pull Kirk over rather than be saved.
Right.
And Captain Kirk says, "I have had enough of you," and he kicks him in the head like 3 times. I have had enough of you, and then he falls.
Yeah.
Kirk lives.
And how is that me?
I don't know, because I wanted you to be the Klingon, but I felt like I was the Klingon because you were kicking
I got lost in that analogy.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what you're saying.
Well, sometimes
No, but I had to. I was going to let it go, but you just looked too happy and proud of yourself. You were like, look, he started in the Big Valley. No, wait, he started on Bonanza. Then he went to the $6 Million Man, and I was like, nah, wait a second. We're going back.
We're
going to go back.
I'm positive, I bet. That's what it is.
What's that? The Big Valley?
No.
Or Bonanza?
I should be tested.
Oh, you're
again.
positive. Oh, I see. We're going
I should
back
be tested
to,
again. Oh, okay. Now that we know that you're safe for now.
Yes, sir.
Would you get tested again in another week or so?
No.
No?
No reason to get. If I was
because you're 5 days, no symptoms, and you tested negative.
Yeah.
So you figure you're in that 90% bracket of not having it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still thinking of Lee Majors. What was after $6 Million Man?
The Fall Guy. He played a stuntman, a retired stuntman.
Oh, that was the Fall Guy.
Detective stunt guy.
Right.
That was a pretty good show, actually. That was pretty good.
And then the the hearing aid commercials. That's what he's been doing lately. He
was married to Farrah Fawcett.
No.
And Ryan O'Neal stole her from him.
And his current wife, if they're still married, was like a Playboy centerfold from the 80s. He married her after Farrah. I mean, this guy did very well.
Oh, he was a pussy magneto.
Did very well for himself, old Colonel Steve Austin.
Pussies. You.
Well, it was funny. Our friend Emil, Dr. Emil, whose house burned down, a buddy of ours, he lost his house in Port Charlotte, Florida.
I hope they're okay now. They all survived the fire.
Yeah, they're fine. They're doing well. He learned English by watching The $6 Million Man.
We can rebuild
when he came to America. And when the house burned down, his wife got Lee Majors to do a cameo saying hello to Emil, and I heard your house burned down, and sorry to hear that, but you're a good man. You'll rebuild. We can rebuild it. The whole thing. So, cameo, what that is. Everyone, I guess, some people know what it is. Others don't.
Not to be confused with camel toe.
Yeah, that's not even close, but Alfred wanted to go blue, and he saw the opening there with a word that started with the letter C. Not even close. If the thing was called camel, at least I could see, but you really just swung for the fence on that one and missed. But
camel toe a lot? Camelot toe? Go ahead.
I'm just going to let you continue with it.
Go ahead. I failed.
Well, but here's the thing. So his wife got him Lee Majors to do this cameo, and it's nice. It's 30 seconds. So then a week later, I was in the cigar bar in Port Charlotte, and all those guys they're doctors. They're in their 50s and 60s. They don't know what cameo is. They never heard of cameo. So I come in and they go, "Hey, Al, did you see Lee Major sent Emil a video? He heard about his house being burned down, and he made him a video. How about that?"
Holy shit.
And I go, yeah, but that was a cameo. And they're like, what? What's that? And I go, well, you can pay, a celebrity to say hello to you and do a cameo. They had no idea. These guys actually thought Lee Majors, somewhere in California, heard about Emil and thought, I better make a video saying hello to this guy, and sent it to him. I go, no. And they were all very disappointed by this news. They were kind of like, oh, she bought it? I go, yeah.
Wait, you kind of ruined it. You kind of ruined it. For me.
Well, I'm not going to go along with this where Lee Majors just hears about random people and makes videos and sends off greetings. And by the way, the best cameo, if anyone's thinking of doing one, even if you're not a fan, Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Holy God. He does 15 minutes. He does 15-minute cameos. They're hilarious.
Yeah, but wait, he's getting big bucks.
I think it's $300 a cameo. But, now they're opening Cameo up, too, to chat with people. So you can chat with the celeb.
That's major
big money. Big
what
money.
I'm saying is, if he's getting 300, and he does 1,000 of them this year during a pandemic, that's 300 G's.
I can do math, sir. Thank you.
Not everybody can.
Well, you know who the number one is?
You always think that I'm trying to teach you a lesson, and it's for the viewers out there. Maybe somebody's on a ventilator listening, and they're having, what are these guys? I can't think straight.
That's the way to really go out, listening to the Talking Dicks podcast. That's, you can't see your family, you can't see anyone. You listen to these two idiots, and you check out. It's not a bad way to go. What was I just saying about that?
Well, the cameo, but I had something to add to it besides my nonsense.
Well, I just want to say the guy from The Office, the fat guy, the bald guy, no one knows his name. He's the number one cameo guy because he does.
The fat guy, not Jim O'Hare. Jim doesn't do it. I know.
No,
Jim.
The fat guy, bald fat guy, Brian.
He's like
somebody.
He's a recurring character.
Yes.
Like a janitor or something. I forget.
No, he's in The Office. He's one of The Office guys.
Oh, him. Yes. He's hysterical. Anyway, he's number one.
He's number one.
His memes are number one.
But he's number one, and they're like he's like $199, I think, for a cameo. They're all with like 2 minutes. He follows the same script on each one. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Just change
the
name.
Right. Whereas Dice is sitting in his living room, really talking to you as a friend for 15 minutes. He interacts with his girlfriend. They argue. I mean, it's quite a bit.
Well, that's worth $300 if you can do all that.
No, it's pretty cool, actually. There's effort in it where this guy, Brian's number one. There's no effort. He just goes, hello, Al. I hear it's your birthday, and you like The Office. Okay, who gives a shit? Great.
Now, you had no knowledge of this, but
I don't know.
This right here, and the people that are listening can't see this, but this is my cameo that I just did for a woman on her birthday. And I'm not going to tell you my price. I just showed it. I'm going to read it to you, okay? Hi, Al. Thank you so much for being a part of a special birthday Zoom party. It was a complete surprise, and I'm so thankful for my wonderful and loving family and friends. I was blown away that you took the time to send a video message to my daughter, Rachel. As always, you put a smile on my face and helped make my birthday so memorable. I'm not going to read the next.
You put a mustache on her face? What was that? What was that? I didn't hear that. Was that what she said?
A smile.
Is that why you grew the growth? Oh, a smile. I thought you said you put a mustache on her face.
Hey, can you tell those fucking spreaders to shut the fuck up? The ones in the background.
I don't hear anything. What are you talking about?
There's
Get those kids out of Get those kids out of here.
Mustache? How did you come up with mustache?
Mustache rides. Remember those in the old days?
Wow.
You never give a girl a mustache ride? Come on.
I've given a girl a mustache ride, okay?
There you go. Well, no, you're a little hairy now, and I thought you said thanks for putting a mustache on my face. I kind of reached. That was my camel toe.
You kind of reached around is what you did. It was a reach around.
I really did. And I will. That's a gentleman for you.
Do we have?
You know what I mean?
You can't hear those kids screaming in the background in the middle of your podcast?
They're right behind me.
Patreon members are going to ask for their money back.
Why?
We came here to get away from kids.
Is that what they do?
I love kids because, I can walk away. Listen, do we have any questions?
Sure. We have no questions this week. But I have a date I'm plugging. I'm plugging a date. I'm going to be at St. Pete Side Lot.
Oh, you're going to be plugging.
Yeah.
You're going to be plugging a waitress then.
It's some outdoor kind of comedy thing. I'm doing it with Danny Bevins, our buddy.
Our buddy Captain Crunch, Danny Bevins.
Captain Crunch, Danny Bevins, the great Danny Bevins.
Two-take Danny.
Danny shows up, is serious, and gets to work.
We told this story before on the podcast. On the web series, The Two Dicks, there's an episode where we have Captain Crunch, who's referred to throughout the series, but we actually had Danny Bevins come in, comedian, and play Captain Crunch because John, your buddy John Consoli,
right,
canceled on us because his schedule changed.
He has a day job. He works. He makes real money, and he wanted. But
I'm
he was
I'm not bashing
scheduled.
him. He had a
he
schedule
was our
issue,
Captain Crunch. He would have been. But I was like, there's nobody can do it. Consoli's Captain Crunch. He's an ex-drill instructor in the Marine Corps. I mean, he would have been great. But I just thought there's no one going to replace him.
And I was
but
a little
we'll get
disappointed.
Danny.
I was disappointed
Danny's
when you said, "Hey, Consoli's not going to make it, but I'm going to ask my Danny Bevins." You know, Danny Bevins. I got know the name. Yeah, certainly.
I mean, he really. If you don't know Danny Bevins, and listen, go Google him, watch some videos. I mean, this guy really one of the top comedians, and but still, I didn't know how he'd be.
He steps in. He asks a couple of
Crunch.
questions. How do you want me to play this? Da 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 da. We give him directions. We do a take. Boom.
Yeah.
You and I look at each other. I'm like, we got it. I know. I go, dude, you nailed it. I was like, perfect. Can we just do a couple more just for backup, whatever? Even the second one was like just as good. And then I don't even know if we did a third, maybe a third.
I don't. Maybe but we didn't have to. We didn't have to.
And I'm like,
I mean, he nailed it, boy.
Unbelievable. So check that episode out because he's really good in it. And my people in the business going, who is that guy? He's really good.
Yeah, Ducharme. That's what he turned your name
into.
Ducharme.
Two Dicks.
Yeah, he's a very. He has a real. What he has reminds me of when I see it is Perry White from Superman.
Yeah,
the editor.
The editor. Yeah.
He looks like a younger Perry White. Kind of has that kind of anger. Just. He's just losing it. We're just like, what? Why are you so angry there, Captain?
All right, shout out. Check that out. Mr. Where are you? Mr. Negative is negative, and I'm hunkered down in my bunker.
Look at that. I mean, I've been in multiple states.
We covered this. We were just going off the air. We were
just
just going off the air. We had an out.
This is a miracle.
We had an out after 22 minutes.
I'm a medical
miracle.
And
you're recapping your survival.
I'm a medical miracle. That's all I'm saying.
Ladies
I
and
want
gentlemen,
you to acknowledge I'm a medical miracle.
He is the immortal.
Thank you. Good night.
Feed me.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
No, really, don't mess with me, because I don't come down to the bus station and slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working, do I? Oh, get on up here, motherfucker. Give me security. I'm sorry, man. The guy fucking came at me. What do you think, folks?
No way.
Okay, show.
Subscribe.
Mary.
Go to patreon.com/forwardthetwodicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?